ANOE Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Of public service on and how public servants do conduct themselves. And honorable colleagues, I'm yet to hear from you. But for me, on my part, and make sure, honorable colleagues, don't bring in anything new for now. We need to have this one resolved first. This is a very big matter. We are speaking about issues of governance. Governance, the most important key issue in this country, governance. And if we cannot differentiate the boundaries of public servants in regard to active politics, I mean in regard to electoral processes, this is somehow, for now I can say, I can't believe that the PS cannot find a conclusive answer. Honorable Nsamba, do you have anything to say?
Madam Chair, in all these institutions of governance, there is always an institution where other institutions rely. For example, if you are talking about matters of ICT, we know the ministry to go to. If we are talking matters education, we know the ministry to go to. But if it comes to public servants and the accounting officer or public servants cannot know, for me, Madam Chair, it is either she has just undermined this committee because she came to answer other questions, or she may not be very qualified in the position she is. Either way. But they have been consulting from friends about her. She's a senior person. She's been in the ministry for some time. She knows her job very well. So, Madam Chair, even if the Attorney General wanted to know anything about public service, these are the people to consult. And I really find it unfair for the permanent secretary to come here and say she cannot guide the country. The good thing, whatever we are doing here is in public. It's public information in public domain. Ugandans are able to see which kind of public servants they have. I expected at least minimum to give opportunity to the team she came with. But it looks like she's not even willing to give opportunity to the team to make an input on the same matter. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Okwang, the same matter?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. And
I've been looking at documents before us, especially management response to the report of the Auditor General. This one here, I don't know what it is called. Yes, and I've been looking at page 5, 1.2.3, delays in promotions and career progression. And under that, there is a Public Service Standing Orders 2021 that indicate PS is responsible for developing schemes of service or career progression plans for each cadre, blah, blah, in liaison with the Department Service to provide a schematic for staff recruitment, placement, promotion, development, performance appraisal, or any other human resource process. I am looking at that. And some of the issues we are asking, Chairperson, actually fall under here. They fall under this. And if the PS says that he is not aware or cannot provide an answer, if you brought the Public Service Standing Orders 2021 in relation to what we are talking about, I am very sure, Chair, the issues we are asking must be in there. Now, the reluctance by the PS to address these issues arises out of the fact that these are matters that in the public domain that they have failed to take action on. And that she can't commit herself because we will put her on the spot. But she actually knows precisely what we are talking about. So, if the PS cannot respond to issues in her own standing orders, I want to move, Chair, that this committee, through you obviously, that this committee be pleased to discharge the PS. To discharge the PS, to go and acquaint herself with matters in her domain, so that at the next sitting, if you allow, she comes well prepared to address issues before this court. Chair, the PS has said she was not prepared for non-accountability questions, if I understood her well. But what we are raising is actually one of the biggest accountability issues that will even emerge in this discussion. I'll give you an example from personal experience. One time I went to the Constitutional Court. I was asking for a temporary injunction. And when I appeared before their lordships, they asked me that before I proceed, I should address them on the issue of quorum. There were 3. And when the Constitution says, in the constitutional matters, they must be 5, minimum of 5. So they asked me, please address us on quorum. Are we competently seated to hear you when we are 3? This is not something I'd prepared for. In fact, I tried to raise that issue. The late Justice Kakuru said, you are a senior lawyer, don't waste our time. Either you are prepared to address us on that. Then what I did was to ask for an adjournment. They said, we will not adjourn, but we will stand over the case. We've given you 1 hour. Come back and address us on whether 3 of us can competently hear you. And indeed, after 1 hour, I came back. And I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, because I wanted my way, I said, as far as I'm concerned, this is an interlocutory matter. It is a temporary injunction. The 5 are needed in a full petition, but this is a temporary issue I am seeking. They said, no. Well, eventually, they ruled that they were not competent. They threw me out. So the argument that I was prepared for accountability questions and not these other issues, with due respect, is not an argument made in good faith. It is an argument born out of, desire not to face certain facts. So, Chair, I beg to move that the committee be pleased to discharge the PS and her team to go and prepare better to come again and face this committee. I beg to move, Chair.
Honorable, as I do respond to your submission, I want to reiterate these facts. As an accountability committee, we draw a mandate from these 2 parts of the Constitution. Number 1, in the national objectives and directive principles of state policy. That is accountability. I read it last time, and I want to read it verbatim for matters of emphasis. Accountability under the national objectives and directive principles of state policy. This is part 26. 1, all public offices shall be held in trust for the people. 2, all persons placed in positions of leadership and responsibility shall, in their work, be answerable to the people. 3, all lawful measures shall be taken to expose, combat, and eradicate corruption and abuse all misuse of power by those holding political or other offices. We also draw a mandate from 1 Article 6.4 about accountability still, where the permanent secretary or the accounting officer in charge of a ministry or department shall be accountable to Parliament for the funds in that ministry or department. Any person holding a political or public office who directs or concurs in the use of public funds contrary to the existing instructions shall be accountable for the loss arising from the use and shall be required to make good of the loss, even if he or she has ceased to hold office. Parliament shall monitor expenditure of all public funds. Honorable colleagues, I want to draw your attention to the mandate of the Ministry of Public Service. One of their mandates is to develop and administer HR policies. 2 is management of systems and procedures. 3 is structures of public service, salary administration on top of the others. But also among the roles of a permanent secretary is managing the ministry, advising the minister on policy, implementing government policies, ensuring proper expenditure of public funds, and maintaining organizational structure. So, honorable colleagues, we are, as I rule on Honorable Asmani's submission, from the submission of the PS, we are not convinced that she cannot competently respond to a question of whether a public servant can actively participate in electoral processes. An example given was, can a public servant be a presiding officer? Can a public servant be a returning officer? Can a public servant be a polling agent? That is giving an example. Those are electoral processes. We are not talking about voting. We are not talking about standing for an electoral position. Now, I would request, if you can allow, before I rule on Honorable Basalira's matter, I want us to give the accounting officer another extra chance, under oath, to give a commitment under oath that she cannot competently respond to a matter raised, and she needs to consult the Attorney General to give us a response to whether a public servant can participate in those processes. If you can allow, we administer the oath, and then she gives us the last answer. We shall make a ruling on how to proceed. Thank you. So let's proceed to administer the oath. Then she's going to tell us on oath that she cannot give us that answer, and she needs consultation from the Attorney General. Remember, we gave the accounting officer 20 minutes to consult. Yes?
Chair, the accounting officer did ask for time to consult.
And it was given?
It was given. She still is not very sure. Without seeking to undermine your authority, I beg to move that the issue of the oath be waived or deferred, and instead my motion be given consideration so that this team is discharged and they come back on another day without necessarily taking, because, Chair, the day you will give, if you choose to, because I know you don't have time, but the day you give, we will still raise the same issues. It's not that when an adjournment is given, we will shift in terms of issues. We will still raise the same issues. And probably or perhaps the answers will have been found. Now, Chair, in the event that the answers will not be forthcoming or there will be reluctance, that is when, Chair, I think will be moving to an oath. But as of now,
Honorable Suman, with the Honorable Nsamba.
Chair, I also want to plead with you that we will do the oath probably next time. I just want to plead to the PS that when you come back here, We come here because this is the beginning questions. There are thousands of questions we see here. When you return, kindly be ready to answer all questions. Some questions might be stupid from that side, but they mean a lot to Ugandans because we represent people, and these stupid questions are asked by the people. Because, for example, I gave an example that my cow appeared in yellow. My cow was seen mobilizing people. I told you I'm a chairperson of Roads Committee. My cow used the money for Roads Committee to do mobilization for the party. And you seem not concerned at all as the permanent secretary. Now, when we talk about these matters, I gave you an example of the district education officer of the district where I come from, using resources for the district to do mobilization, and an accounting officer is not concerned and wants to consult with the Attorney General. I want to plead with you. First of all, I'm pleading with the chair to spare the PS the oath and go for preparation to come and attend to this committee in an honest manner, without demeaning us, without taking us for granted, with taking these matters seriously. Because you may see 5 of us or 6 of us here, but these questions are for the people of Uganda. They want to see somebody sitting in their office answerable to them, as simple as that. When a question is bigger for you, that's the reason why I come with this team. Can ask them to answer. They can probably save you if you want. So, Madam Chair, I'm pleading with you.
Thank you, Honorable.
We can answer the oath next time.
Honorable colleagues, you don't have to plead on this matter. Aware that you are an accountability committee. You scheduled this entity for today, Monday. All of you have convened here. Amidst all your other activities that you ought to have done. We gather a very competent team here. I know the PS must have left other responsibilities and duties and reserved time for this honorable committee. I know she has sacrificed to appear here, though it's our noble duty to ensure that we serve the people. This is part of service. We have this entire competent team that has reserved time to come today. Only to remind you that as we are here, we spend public money. These are public resources. Waste of time is waste of money. Automatically, you lose it on accountability. We come here, sit for just a few minutes, all hours that we've spent speaking to each other, but because of a very simple question, we make this whole entity, please go back and come back, as casually as that. That cannot take place. This entity ought to have been handled today. Then we look out to other entities. You are going to be paid money for appearing here. They are spending public resources to appear here. So, honorable colleagues, being an accountability committee, we cannot take issues of public expenditure for granted. Just imagine if other 5 committees act the way we are doing today. Please send them. It shouldn't be as casual as that. They should go and come back, not as simple as it is, as you intend to have it. Number 2, I don't know what you lose when she speaks what she's telling us on oath. Because that is the only way that we can convince ourselves that what she's saying is true. Otherwise, for me, I feel so bad to let this team go without handling these matters. We have so many important things here. But just something very simple. Please guide. Even if she had told us that, you know what, let us proceed, as I assign one of my teams to consult before we conclude the meeting, we shall have the answer. That would have. But to the PS, it seems, and I've observed it, she told you what you are asking for is not part of accountability. So if it's not part of accountability, I want her to be on record, on oath, that what you are asking for, I cannot, is purely outside my docket. Honorable colleagues, I don't know what you lose. Because we've given her 20 minutes, please go and consult. Some of you were saying, no, Honorable, she should, send one of the teams. You know, this is an interface between Parliament and public service to ensure that we can serve people better. But it hurts on something that is simple. For you send an entity back, come back, back for what? So, Madam PS, I really advise that let's respect the people out there. Let us have respect for each other. This is something that is very, very simple. Even if you had said, team, please go out, and I want to ask them, do they have a legal department in the ministry? You don't have. But this is something you can, I myself here, I can call the Attorney General and get an answer. Please advise us on this. And we proceed. Just imagine wasting public resources. You come here, your valuable time on items left on table. People have come to your office and bounced because you are in Parliament. We come here and do nothing. You came early. I salute you for that. You came early, said that we can have some of these matters sorted for you to serve the country better. So before you go on oath, can you give us an answer competent from a senior public officer, very senior, with due respect? Can we get a balanced answer from a competent public servant so that you convince the country? But you cannot say no, because it seems for you what we are asking is outside your docket, which is not. That is why I wanted us to convince us on oath that what you are asking is out of my docket. I cannot respond. But I want to tell you, you've been so unfair to the country, very, very unfair. So before we go on oath, do you have anything new to inform us? But colleagues, I want to assure you, if she cannot really treat this committee with respect, before we see her off, she has to go on oath, then we discharge the committee. We shall have done our part. And just know we have so many entities to handle. Something concerning the conduct of public servants is the duty and responsibility of public service. So if we cannot respond on this, then can we respond on these other matters when we cannot respond on something that is as simple as this? So you can also advise us on how to proceed, but for me, my kind request is, can we have a moderately convincing answer that the one we got before, so that we can proceed? It's not good for you to go and then you come back. I doubt whether that's the way we should run government business. Yes, PS?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I requested to consult the Attorney General. He's our legal advisor, because the question is both administrative and legal. With due respect, I beg your chair to see this as the most respect I can give to Parliament instead of giving a frivolous answer. I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Silas.
Madam Chair, first of all, to introduce myself, I'm Silas Aukon, MP Kumi Municipality, and you're welcome to Parliament. Cool down and enjoy this good building. Yeah, it's yours. What I see is that there's an opportunity for a good answer at the end of the tunnel. So, Madam Chair, like you are almost guided, let's start with other business as a consult within the building.
Honorable Cyrus,
if you could allow me, you normally let me finish. You normally allow me to complete.
Okay, proceed.
So, we are sharing wisdom, but you are the most wise chair. So, what I was thinking is that let us handle other business. By the time we finish, they will have gotten the answer. Calls are still almost free. They are not as expensive. You can call the Attorney General, consult quickly, and come back. I would request through you, Chair. Thank you. Whether it's in the cabinet, he has people. Attorney General is just one, not one officer. It's a hollow chamber. By the way, Madam Chair, even if one of them chose to go by foot, they don't need a car. The office is just here. 10 minutes, you are done. You will come with a solid answer on a manual paper.
Honorable Cyrus, thank you for your submission. But the accounting officer's response is not that she can give you the answer today. She has to go back herself and consult the Attorney General. But honorable members, when we are making submissions on some of these matters, Honorable Silas, you found us on a matter of governance. We asked a very simple question, that do we allow public servants, for example, to be presiding officers, to be polling agents, to be returning officers? That is the only thing that she cannot give an answer on. So if we cannot be advised on matters of public service, shall we get genuine answers on these other matters? So she said she will have to go back and consult the Attorney General. So, honorable colleagues, painfully, I beg that we see off our dear colleagues from this side. such that they can go back and prepare adequately enough to respond to matters of public service. Number 2 is for them to go back and have a rehearsal. I know they have appeared here several times, but I want them to really think about the importance of this committee to the country, and for them to also know that they occupy those offices for and on behalf of the people. It is very unfortunate, it is very embarrassing for us to come here and start, demeaning each other. So I request that we discharge the permanent Secretary Minister of Public Service such that she can come back next time when she can competently advise on matters of human resource. The meeting is adjourned to the next session.